Argentinian ex-priest disavows decree against blessing same-sex unions. A former priest and LGBTQ activist, Andrés Gioeni, is leaving the Roman Catholic Church after the Vatican issued a pronouncement that priests may not reside over same-sex unions. Gioeni had blessed same-sex unions in Pope Francis's home country, Argentina, at least 4 times. Like other LGBTQ Catholics, Gioeni was shocked by the church's argument that clergy members cannot bless same-sex unions because they cannot bless sin. Gioeni mentioned that he was homophobic throughout the seminary as an act of defense. His superiors came to know about his sexual identity in 2003 when he appeared nude on the cover of a gay magazine. Subsequently, he was barred from exercising priestly ministry. So this is very interesting. This is about a gay Argentinian ex-priest who is now saying, after the Vatican said that they can't bless same-sex unions, that he's like, okay, I'm no longer Catholic. He's like, I still have my faith, but I am no longer, I'm leaving the Catholic Church.
You know what? I know this is being nitpicky, but it always gets me when people almost get it. They almost get it. Like when they leave their religion and they still keep their faith. I was like, what makes you think that they only lied about some of it? Like, given that this religion, given that all you heard about God and faith was true religion, what are the chances that they were wrong about everything in the religion, but that God part was correct? Like, I don't get it. Like, just go out all the way, man. Just go out all the way.
Yeah. It's anyway. He said, quote, I do not want to continue being an accomplice to this institution because I realize the harm they are doing to people. I am not renouncing my faith in God, but I am rather renouncing a role and a right.
Renounce God as well, man. Just do it. just take the bandit, like just the full thing. Come on. It's okay. It's better. Life is better on this side. Come on. You can do it. Come on.
No,
join us.
Saying,
one of us.
That's interesting. He didn't know before that the Catholic Church doesn't support gays. Yeah, this is something that I'm like, come on, man. Like,
he went to the church to find himself, and then he found himself on the cover of gay magazine, Nude, and he realized, hey, you know what? I don't think the church is working here.
You know, I find it, so this might be intolerant of me. Okay, tell me, guys, if I'm being discriminatory against gay people or women.
Oh,
hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
I always find, like, when gay people and women or trans people realize that religion is BS because it came after them, I was like, wait, if it didn't come after you, you wouldn't, like, what if it didn't come after you? Do you know what I mean? Like, is that what it took? Like, what if it was completely cool with you, but went after other people?
Some people leave religion for emotional reasons.
I know, but I just feel like
I think a lot of people come to a lot of realizations about some things like that when a lot of political stuff, religious stuff, relationship, when it affects you personally. I think that's something about human nature, that if for whatever reason you can't see it, or you just can't see it yet because you know, for whatever reason, you didn't evolve that part of your brain enough, or I don't know.
It's kind of like Republicans where they're anti-gay marriage until they're like, oh my God, my daughter is gay. Okay, maybe like I'm with Republicans on everything now except this. Oh, like
there's 1,000 issues like that with the GOP tends to be like that a lot for sure, but also all the left, the Democrats too. I mean, I think that's just part of human nature sometimes. I mean, just think about your relationships, even when sometimes you've been saying the thing over and over and over again and the person doesn't get it. But then when it happens to them, oh, now I see what you mean. So, I mean, on a micro level, even. So, yeah, I mean, your point's well taken, but I just feel like that's just, I don't know if that's a defect or that's just maybe not a defect. I don't know. That's probably not fair. I shouldn't say it's a defect, but it just something that some people, I don't know, maybe that they're not getting the right amount of fatty acids or carbs in their brain to make them like flip the switch or something.
I don't understand when, especially from like monotheistic religions, when people argue that it's not homophobic. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, so for example, he's saying, this man Gioeni said, quote, "There's no mention in any book of the Bible of consensual love between two people of the same sex and God telling them no." Which is technically correct. I believe any situation where male on male sex is mentioned is a non-consensual situation. But a lot of it has to do with the act itself.
What about the lie with another man line?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so but there's some people try to interpret that as like
and fail.
A non-consensual situation
where it doesn't say non-consensual.
Yeah, and non-consensual doesn't matter to the Old Testament God anyway.
Doesn't matter either. So I'm like, this man is just pulling stuff out of his ass. Like,
yes, actually, when
that way.
When did ever the Bible or the Quran bother being concerned about the consent for this? Like, yeah, they're like, you're taking it out of context. I'm like, no, you're taking it out of context. We look at the entire Bible, and the Bible doesn't give a crap about consent, and you're thinking like this is talking about only non-consensual. Yeah, the same Bible that talks about sex slavery and you know, selling women, you know, like look at the way that the Bible treats women who have been raped by men. Compared to how women have sex out of a marriage, like it's all about protecting the property of men. It has whether it's consensual or not. It has no concern for consent in the Bible or the Quran. Okay, and also yes, the verse that specifically that says that you shouldn't lay with the men, it doesn't mention that anything about consent. Also, when you talk about the story of the people, you know, the people of Lot, right? The people in Sodom and Gomorrah, they be sinning because they were being laying with other men, not because they're having sex without consent. By the way, we're not using the R word. We keep saying sex without consent because YouTube. Did I say the R word?
Yeah, you did.
Damn.
I was like, oh, Armin, it's that kind of a day.
Well, no, I want to expound on your point. It's not just does Yahweh or the Bible or anybody not care about consent in terms of sexual experience. They actively use non-consensual sex as a tool or a weapon or a way to get people to manipulation tool. Speaking of Lot, you know, so he was, in order to protect his guests, he threw his daughters out to the mob.
Yeah,
who wanted to have non-consensual sex with the guests. Here, have the daughters instead. So he's literally using them
as collateral.
This non-consent, it's to protect his guests because that's, you know, the rule. And then there's other situations like that too. The non-consensual issue with Dinah and Shechem. You know, he wanted to marry her but apparently it was non-consensual. That's what it's always, you know, and she's stuck up there with him, and Jacob is bargaining about it, and so is he. And Levi and all the other brothers use this thing that happened to Dinah as a way to get over on these people. So it's this constant thing. No, not only do they not care about consent, non-consent is part of the way it works. It's part of the process. It's a bargaining chip. It's a tool or a punishment.
It's so confusing to me. Like, I mean, awesome. This guy disavowed the Catholic Church. Cool. But like, if he was in seminary, he should be well aware with like canon law, the catechism of the Catholic Church. Like, it's not just what the Bible says. Like, there is a whole other corpus of holy dogma. It's literally called dogma, like, that goes into building out the body of Catholicism. You know, it's so much richer than just like textual, scriptural interpretation. And so it blows my mind when people expect the Vatican to say something different than what has been firmly established in the Catechism and canon law.
You know, everybody thought, oh, for sure, when it was the bad people in, you know, World War II Pope, you know, the German bad people. But now that it's hippie Pope, they're like, what? I thought hippie Pope was hippie Pope.
I thought he was cool, man.
You know, and it's funny to me because they want it to be that way, because they're more moral than or ethical than the scriptures they claim to believe in.
Yeah.
And, you know, so yeah, you can leave, especially if, you know, the other Pope before hippie Pope, Ratzinger, he quit. If he can quit the Catholic Church, you can too. Okay. But that's a Bill Maher joke, by the way. But anyways, the point is, okay, you know, now what? So everything you ever believed isn't true because you thought it was all love and, you know, kumbaya, and now you realize that now that, you know, it affects you, it's not. So you're still going to stay in some lesser version of that. So you're going to stay in the jail, but with the door open now? Like, what?
Yeah.
But it's a journey. Like, for if you talk to a lot of people who do leave, it a lot of times that's sort of the step. Sometimes the nicer version, you know, the hippie version, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, our criticism of this man aside, like, I want a memoir from him, because there was other stuff in this article about like how he's had like, he was like secretly with men when he was a priest and like all this stuff. Like, this sounds like a very good story.
Wow.
Then he started working at a disco, and then that's where he met his husband, like all this stuff. Like, I need to hear all of this. But like, what's this guy's name again? Yeah, Andrés Gioeni.
He's a gaucho. He's a real cowboy.
Yeah, Gioeni. I need your story, man. That sounds fantastic.
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists, without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.